The woman realized something was a little off about her boyfriend. She kept dreaming that he filled her up with tentacles. He even said he was some 10-tentacled horror monster from a game. Well, 10 is 10. She figured she could live with that. And he cooked for her and even washed her underwear every day. He'd even act cute and beg for kisses. Until one day, Shen Jiahe was chosen to enter a horror game. The bloodthirsty boss suddenly dropped to his knees. "Wife, I was wrong." He even turned his tentacle into a whip and handed it to her. "Baby, hit me as much as you want. Just don't break up with me." That day, Shen Jiahe noticed her boyfriend was gone again. Every so often, he would disappear for days. One night, Shen Jiahe finally couldn't take it anymore. "Zhao Yunzhou, every time you're gone this long, are you seeing someone else? If you want to break up, just say it." "No, baby. I only love you." His slightly breathless voice brushed against her ear. Looking at the ridiculously handsome man in front of her, "Next time I'll deal with those players faster and come back to you sooner." She knew he was lying. There was no such thing as a horror game. But Shen Jiahe still softened. "Then come back earlier next time, or I'll make you kneel on a washboard." "Yes, my queen." After Shen Jiahe warned her boyfriend, Zhao Yunzhou didn't come home for a whole month. Just as she was worrying like usual, Shen Jiahe suddenly found herself inside a horror game. Welcome, player, to the A-level horror instance, Island Prison. Shen Jiahe opened her eyes. Looking around in confusion, she saw a vast empty hall, surrounded by prison cells. Was she so heartbroken by that jerk that she was dreaming about this damn horror instance? What the hell is this place? Why am I here? A loud voice snapped Shen Jiahe out of her thoughts. She looked around. There were about 50 people in some horror instance. Is this some scripted reality show? I'm not joining. "Let me out!" Noisy shouting filled the hall. Before anyone could finish, a group of guards rushed in, clubs in hand, faces vicious. "What are you yelling about? Shut the hell up. Get back to your rooms, or I'll twist your heads off." Shen Jiahe noticed. Most people immediately headed upstairs. After hearing the guards, she glanced at the number on her chest. Her cell was on the 3rd floor, so she followed the crowd upstairs, found her assigned cell, and walked inside. Holy crap, this is real. Was everything Lin Yuanzhu said true? Before she could think it through, the cell door slammed shut. Right after that, piercing screams echoed outside. Shen Jiahe peeked out. Her pupils shrank. The guards' heads suddenly swelled several times larger. Their faces split into 4. They bit off the heads of those who refused to enter. The crowd fell instantly silent. The guards soon returned to normal, though blood still stained their lips. It was horrifying. They licked their lips with satisfaction and chuckled. "We told you to go back. You just wouldn't listen." The floor was a shocking mess of blood. Several timid people fainted on the spot. It was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Click, 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 dress shoes on the floor. A man in a black uniform walked out of the darkness. The once casual guards stood up straight and bowed. "Warden." Shen Jiahe craned her neck to look, but could only see his back. Those broad shoulders and narrow waist looked exactly like Lin Yuanzhou's. That lean back she used to grip every night, begging him to slow down. The man glanced at the bloody mess, his voice hoarse and cold. "Clean this up. Make sure they learn the rules. No more trouble." The warden turned to leave. A prisoner shouted at him, "I didn't commit any crime. What right do you have to lock me up? Let me out, you sissy." Before he could finish, a black-purple tentacle shot out from the warden's body, piercing the man's neck. With a wet sound, the man clutched his throat, eyes wide, full of disbelief. The tentacle withdrew, flicking blood off onto the floor. The guards trembled and bowed immediately. "Sorry, warden. He's new. He hasn't read the rules. If there's a next time, it'll be you." The warden's voice was icy and flat. Without stopping, his leather shoes clicked. As he disappeared into the dark, Shen Jiahe, who had wanted to speak, shut her mouth. It was obvious. No one here was human. Luckily, because Lin Yuanzhou once said he was the boss of a weird instance. She had looked things up online and knew a little about it. She closed her eyes to sort her thoughts. A cheerful voice suddenly spoke. "New here?" Hearing that, Shen Jiahe opened her eyes. A boy around 20 sat on the bed, smiling at her. She looked wary and nodded. The boy got down from the bed, walked toward her, and greeted her with a smile. "I'm Ding Dong. This is my 3rd instance. I've got some experience. If you have any questions, just ask me, sis." Shen Jiahe pressed her lips together and asked softly, "If you get hurt or die in this instance, does it affect the real world?" Ding Dong curved his lips, smiling at her with a laid-back tone. "That's a sharp question. Straight to the point. We enter with our real bodies, so if you're hurt here, you're hurt outside too. As for death, you die here, and that's it." As he spoke, her brows tightened. Then he added, "But once you clear the instance, you'll get rewards and points. If you're lucky, you might draw something that can save your life. Shenjahi asked again, how do you clear it? Ding Dong smiled. When it officially starts, the system will tell you the conditions, but in every instance, if the weird boss dies, it counts as cleared. He paused and added, there are complicated side quests. If you complete some of them, you might get extra rewards. Any other questions? Shenjahe looked at Ding Dong. His eyes narrowed slightly. One last question. Why are you willing to tell me all this? She didn't believe a word of it. That people are inherently good. The kid in front of her looked young, but she could tell from his words he was no ordinary person. Ding Dong held out his hand friendly through the iron bars. This instance is really hard to clear. If I do it alone, I'll never make it. I want to team up with someone smart. And you're obviously the one, sis. Shenjahi lowered her eyes. She knew nothing about this instance so far. The warden who just came looked exactly like Lin Yuanzhou. She wanted to find out the truth, even though she didn't know what agenda the person in front of her had. Shenjahi still nodded in agreement. Okay, pleased to work with you. When Ding Dong saw she wasn't going to shake his hand, he pulled it back without any offense. He glanced at the time on the wall. Time's almost up, he said softly. Shenjahi was a little confused. Time for what? Suddenly, a sharp, loud alarm went off. Red light flooded the whole prison, the prison doors locking them in, all opened at the same time. Ding Dong stepped out and walked up to Shenjahi. Come on, sis. Let's go find the clues to clear the instance. Facing a stranger she'd just met, Shenjahi stayed on her guard. She stepped out of the cell. The second she stepped out, a robotic voice suddenly sounded in the air. Welcome players to Level A Horror Instance Island Prison. Instance clearance conditions are as follows. 1. Kill the island prison boss, the warden, in one strike. 2. Survive 7 days in the island prison instance. 3. Find the warden's lover and bring them to the warden. Instance officially started. As the robotic voice faded, the tightly locked main gate swung open. Players swarmed out of the gate. Ding Dong was about to follow, but Shenjahi stopped him. Wait. What's wrong, sis? Ding Dong turned around. Shenjahi looked at the main gate. With all this commotion, the guards can't have noticed nothing. If we go out the front door, we might run into those monsters. As she spoke, Shenjahi looked around and spotted a small side door. Let's go through the side door. Shenjahi walked toward it. A few others quietly followed. The second they stepped out, horrible screams suddenly came from behind. Help, help me! Let go of me, what are these monsters? Then a broadcast voice came on. Prisoners escaping en masse. All guards deploy. Shoot to kill on sight. After the broadcast, anyone who'd been hesitating ran for their lives. On the live stream channel, comments flooded in. Didn't expect this newbie to be so smart. She didn't fall for Brother Ding's trick. Yeah, but she's so unlucky. First time in an instance. And she got Level A Island Prison. This battle royale needs brains. And strength too, or the monsters will get you for sure. This newbie's pretty good looking. Shame if she dies just like that. If I were in the instance, I'd have fun first. Ha ha ha, as if the instance boss has been crazy lately. Super aggressive. If he sees any player, he attacks everyone on sight. You're dead without a life-saving item. I can't wait to see how long this newbie lasts with Brother Ding. Brother Ding loves toying with his prey. He never kills them himself. If she's smart enough, she might just survive this instance. Shenjahi and Ding Dong came out through the side door. Even though they'd gotten some distance away, they could still smell a strong scent of blood. People behind them were running for their lives. Shenjahi walked quickly, glancing around at her surroundings, looking for useful clues. Ding Dong followed behind her. Should we go with them? He suddenly asked. Shenjahi glanced outside. Ever since earlier, she'd seen people split into small teams. They were all going separate ways. Probably not their first time teaming up. If you know someone, go team up with them. I'm not joining. Shenjahi refused. Ding Dong smiled. That's not what I meant. I just thought if it's just us two, our odds are bad if we run into monsters. If there are more of us, we might be able to fight them off. Is that so? Then go team up with them. Shenjahi had zero interest in teaming up. She finally understood now, ever since she got with Lin Yuanzhou, why he always made her watch gory horror movies, especially ones full of betrayal. Whenever the protagonist trusted someone, they always ended up getting stabbed in the back, betrayed over and over. It gave her serious trauma. So now whenever someone comes near her, her first thought is they must have an agenda. So as for Ding Dong, Shenjahi never trusted him from the start. Ding Dong's eyes darkened. But he said nothing in the end. He just kept following her. Shenjahi made her way to the infirmary. It was empty, and the door was locked. Seeing this, why are we here? Ding Dong asked curiously. To change clothes? Shenjahi pushed the window. Luckily it wasn't locked. Or we'd have to pick it. She climbed in through the window and started rummaging around. There were nurse uniforms left inside. Shenjahi put one on. This prisoner uniform is too obvious. Seeing this, Ding Dong put on a white coat too. You're so smart, sis, he praised. Thinking to change clothes, Shenjahi turned to look at him, her eyes cold. If we're partners, don't play innocent. Ding Dong's smile faded a little. He fell silent. After changing, Shenjahi started thinking, how could she get out of this instance? Of the 3 system conditions, surviving 7 days in the prison was definitely the safest. After all, the other 2 meant facing the boss head-on. But the prison was locked down tight. Where could she hide? Sis, I think we should take the initiative. Ding Dong suddenly said. Shenjahi looked at him, gesturing for him to go on. Of the 3 system conditions, Ding Dong explained, the second one looks safest. But in this island prison instance, it's surrounded by sea, and it's winter. There's no way we can go out to sea. But staying here in the prison is way too dangerous. If the guards start a full sweep, sooner or later they'll find us. So I think we should make the first move. Let's track down the warden's whereabouts. If you're not confident about killing the warden, you can sneak into his room first and look for clues about his lover. Shenjahi thought for a moment, then nodded. She had her own little selfish reason. The warden's back looked way too much like Lin Yuanzhou. Ever since she broke up with Lin Yuanzhou, she hadn't heard a single word from him. She was worried. Do you know where the warden's room is? You know? Ding Dong pointed at the layout map on the infirmary wall. Looking at this map, we can roughly figure it out. We're here right now. Judging from the route we took earlier, this side should be the guards' dorms. We can search over here. Ding Dong paused, then added, all the guards have been sent out to look for prisoners, which makes the guards' dorms the safest place right now. Shenjahi looked at the map. Listening to Ding Dong's analysis, she couldn't find any flaws in it. So she nodded. All right, let's head that way first. The live comments were already buzzing. Broding is awesome. He totally fooled her just like that. With how rage mode the dungeon boss is right now, she'll probably get killed the second she opens that door. What a pity. She's pretty, and she's smart too. And she's about to be out already. The trip there went surprisingly smoothly. What Shenjahi didn't expect was that Ding Dong could pick locks. Every exit in the prison was locked, and Ding Dong opened every door. The 2 followed the route to the guards' dorm building. It had 3 floors. When they went inside, it was eerily quiet. Ding Dong looked at Shenjahi and lowered his voice. Sis, this place is huge. We should split up. Meet back here in half an hour. Shenjahi glanced at him. Suit yourself. Ding Dong chuckled and pointed in a direction. I'll check over there. After he left, Shenjahi walked the opposite way. The dorm room doors weren't locked. She could open them directly. She carefully opened a few rooms and found they were all empty. She walked upstairs along the corridor and stopped in front of a double-carved redwood door. Shenjahi frowned. This door stood out way too much. All the other dorm doors were plain standard iron doors. And then suddenly, this elegant carved wooden door, you didn't even need to think about it. This had to be the dungeon boss's room. She stood at the door, hesitating. Should she go in? What if she ran straight into the boss the moment she opened it? Thinking about how the other dorms were empty, she braced herself and grabbed the handle. As it turned, she slowly pushed the door open, moving as quietly as possible. The moment her leg stepped inside, before she could even react, a hoarse voice rang out. You've got some nerve? How dare you trespass into my territory? Dark purple tentacles instantly wrapped around her waist. Her body felt weightless, and she was yanked forward by a powerful force. She was pulled in front of a figure. The man had his back to her, only a lean silhouette visible. The tentacles extended from behind him. The man looked feral and menacing as he slowly stepped out from behind the desk, his voice dripping with murderous intent. I'll give you 5 seconds to say your last words. As he spoke, the tentacles slithered up from her waist and settled around her pale neck. They wrapped tightly around it, ready to crush her at any second. Shenjahi was forced to tilt her head back, feeling the grip around her neck slowly tightening. At that moment, the only name in her mind was Lin Yuanzhou. Damn it, she was about to die, and she was still thinking about that jerk. Lin Yuanzhou, where the hell did you go? The moment she shouted, the boss, who had been acting all cool, stumbled. Thud. He dropped straight to his knees. Shenjahi was stunned. Wait, was he trying to scam her? She hadn't even done anything. The tentacles around her neck loosened instantly, almost seeming a little ingratiating, as they brushed lightly against her neck. Shenjahi was speechless. This boss sure had a weird way of making an entrance. The dark purple tentacles set her down. The man who had been kneeling quietly got back up. Shenjahi looked at him suspiciously, but the room was too dark. She couldn't see his face clearly, so she cautiously called out, Lin Yuanzhou? The tentacles on his body jerked back as if startled, shrinking away instantly. Even his hoarse voice pitched higher. Wife, I'm not Lin Yuanzhou. The moment he said that, the room fell into dead silence. Shen Jiahe was shocked. So Lin Yuanzhou hadn't lied to her. He really was the horror dungeon boss. "Turn on the lights," Shen Jiahe said. Lin Yuanzhou hesitated, fidgeting. "I don't look very good right now." "You know that I'm afraid of the dark." The tentacles behind him quickly went to turn on the light. The room lit up instantly. A cold hand covered Shen Jiahe's eyes, leaving only a sliver of light. After a few seconds, the hand slowly moved away, so she could adjust to the brightness. She blinked and looked forward, meeting Lin Yuanzhou's eyes directly. He didn't look much different from usual, just unusually pale, which added a faintly androgynous softness to his handsome face. No wonder someone once called him effeminate. Under her unwavering gaze, his eyes darted away. He stammered, "Wife, why are you here?" That just made her angry. How would I know? I was sleeping peacefully at home, and suddenly I got dragged here. That made Lin Yuanzhou panic. He immediately started patting her down all over, checking her from head to toe. She smacked his hands away in disgust. "What are you doing? This isn't home." Lin Yuanzhou frowned slightly and pulled her closer, his expression serious. "Wife, only two types of people can enter a horror dungeon. One is someone on the brink of death. The other is someone deeply evil. You might be a bit heartless sometimes, but you're not evil, so that means you're about to die in the real world." She felt a chill. "Did you leave the gas on at home?" She twitched at the corner of her mouth. "I don't cook. When you're not home, I always order takeout." The tentacles behind Lin Yuanzhou snuck out sneakily and poked Shen Jiahe's face. "No wonder your skin isn't as good as before. I'll make you more before work next time. Put them in the fridge. Heat them up before you eat. Stop eating takeout all the time." Shen Jiahe picked up the tentacle in disgust and moved it away. She hadn't forgotten that Lin Yuanzhou killed people with his tentacles. "Your tentacles just killed someone this morning. Don't touch me now." Lin Yuanzhou felt wronged. He unleashed all the tentacles behind him. Then he started explaining. "They all have different jobs. This one's for tying people up. This one's for killing people. This one's for carrying things. This one's for daily life." Watching Lin Yuanzhou ramble on and on, Shen Jiahe raised her hand to cut him off. "Okay, I really don't want to know what your tentacles are for." Lin Yuanzhou looked at her with a pitiful expression. "Honey, are you disgusted with me?" Shen Jiahe looked. The man in the crisp black uniform in front of her. His face was pale and bloodless. Behind him were clusters of tentacles, flailing wildly. "If I suddenly grew all these tentacles behind me, wouldn't you be disgusted?" Lin Yuanzhou replied earnestly. "Even if you grew a pig's head, I wouldn't be disgusted." "You're the pig head!" Shen Jiahe shot back. After bickering for a bit, Lin Yuanzhou suddenly remembered that he needed to go over with Shen Jiahe why she had nearly died. What else could it be? A burglar broke in, and you ran into him. Shen Jiahe rolled up her sleeves and showed off her firm biceps. "Do you think a normal guy could beat me?" "Right, Shen Jiahe is a Sanda coach, and she's won national awards. Ordinary people can't beat her at all." Lin Yuanzhou was a little worried. Then what else could it be? Your body was tied up? It couldn't be a sudden illness, could it? Seeing he couldn't figure it out, Shen Jiahe waved her hand. "Maybe it's a family member perk. No need to overthink it." Lin Yuanzhou was speechless. He took Shen Jiahe's hand and led her into the bedroom nearby. The bedroom was decorated in a Western retro style. "You just need to stay here for 7 days in the instance, then you can leave. It's super safe here. Just stay here and relax." At the mention of the instance, Shen Jiahe suddenly remembered the clear conditions. One of them was to find the warden's lover. Obviously Lin Yuanzhou was the warden. Shen Jiahe narrowed her eyes slightly and looked at Lin Yuanzhou. Lin Yuanzhou got flustered under her gaze. He stammered, "What's wrong?" He touched his face as he spoke. "Is there something on my face?" Shen Jiahe crossed her arms and looked at Lin Yuanzhou, saying, "The clear conditions are, stay here for 7 days, or kill the warden. The other is to find the warden's lover." "Lin Yuanzhou, do you have one at home and one in the instance?" Lin Yuanzhou panicked at once. He reached out and grabbed Shen Jiahe. His gloomy face was full of grievance. "Honey, it's not true. I've only ever had you." "Then what's with this clear condition?" Shen Jiahe looked at Lin Yuanzhou. Lin Yuanzhou frowned slightly and couldn't figure it out either. He raised his hand and swore, "Honey, I've always been faithful. I'd never mess with any other woman." As soon as he finished, someone knocked on the bedroom door. A charming, coquettish female voice came from outside. "Warden, I'm here!" "You're so passionate today. Asking me to meet you in the bedroom. You're making me shy." The room fell completely silent. Lin Yuanzhou hurried to explain. "He's not a woman." Shen Jiahe scoffed, "Right. Not a woman. A female wraith." Lin Yuanzhou shook his head frantically. Before he could finish explaining, the person outside pushed the door open. A figure with long hair, eerily beautiful, or rather a wraith, walked in. He was also wearing a black uniform. They looked quite like a couple standing together. Fei Bai looked at the woman in the room, his mouth dropping open in shock. There's another girl here? Did I interrupt you guys? Lin Yuanzhou was exasperated. You knew before you came in. Why are you acting surprised? Fei Bai covered his mouth and chuckled, looking Shen Jiahe up and down. So the warden's into playing with his prey now? I thought you were just in a bad mood this past month. Super grumpy? Killing anyone you saw, seeing how close they were standing? Fei Bai thought of messing with them. He walked over in a seductive sway, pressing up against Lin Yuanzhou. Brother Yuanzhou! I missed you so much. Before he could finish, he was lifted into the air and sent flying 3 meters by Lin Yuanzhou. Talk normally. Quit talking like that, Lin Yuanzhou said in disgust. Fei Bai got up from the floor, brushing the dust off himself. He complained lightly. Such a bad temper. You hit me just for saying a few words. He then turned to Shen Jiahe. Little girl. Don't be fooled by his face. See? He hits when he doesn't get his way. He'll definitely be abusive later. The tentacles behind Lin Yuanzhou rushed at Fei Bai. Fei Bai immediately got into a defensive stance, but the tentacles just ripped his top open, feeling the chill on his chest. Fei Bai's face turned pitch black. His formerly charming voice went back to normal. Damn it, Lin Yuanzhou! You pervert! Why did you rip my clothes off? Lin Yuanzhou ignored him completely. He turned to Shen Jiahe and explained, Honey, he's a guy. He's just a pervert. Who likes dressing up as a woman? Shen Jiahe glanced at him, frowning. What if he's flat-chested? The tentacles behind Lin Yuanzhou curled slightly. They aimed straight at Fei Bai's pants. Fei Bai freaked out and instantly covered his crotch. Don't tell me you're into this kind of thing, he yelled. After saying that, he quickly switched back to his normal voice. I'm a guy, and I'm not into taking my pants off in public. Shen Jiahe gave Lin Yuanzhou a complicated look. You're into that? Hearing that, Lin Yuanzhou felt like the sky was falling. Wife, he's just acting girly. How could I possibly be into that? Hey, Fei Bai got annoyed. That's a personal attack. I just like cosplay, okay? Lin Yuanzhou shot him a cold glance, then asked flatly, What do you want? Fei Bai adjusted his slightly torn clothes. He glanced at Shen Jiahe. She's one of us. Just say it. Teacher Fei Bai said the battle royale has officially started. There are 26 players left. Shen Jiahe's heart skipped. She didn't expect that in such a short time. Half the players were already gone. I got it. You can leave. Lin Yuanzhou started shooing him out. Fei Bai glanced at the two of them. He clicked his tongue. Seriously, ditching your buddy for a girl? Seeing the tentacles behind Lin Yuanzhou about to move again, Fei Bai immediately changed his tone. You're busy. You two carry on. I'm leaving. As soon as Fei Bai left, the room fell into silence. Lin Yuanzhou looked at Shen Jiahe, a bit at a loss. Wife, can you not be scared of me? Shen Jiahe looked at him. Lin Yuanzhou lowered his head even more. The tentacles behind him seemed to sense his mood, and drooped as well. They hung limply behind him, sticky and low. His whole body gave off a gloomy vibe. Shen Jiahe chuckled softly. I never said I was scared of you. She paused, then reached out and held his hand. I'm not exactly a good person either. Lin Yuanzhou's eyes instantly lit up. There was surprise in his voice. Wife, you're not scared of me? Shen Jiahe looked at him speechlessly. We've been together 2 years. At least 600 days were spent watching horror gore from all over the world, plus all kinds of betrayal and mafia movies. Compared to those, you look pretty decent. In those horror movies, everyone looked way worse. She paused slightly, then looked at him. When you made me watch those back then, wasn't this your plan all along? Lin Yuanzhou, caught out, let out an awkward laugh. It was just in case. As they were talking, a system notification suddenly rang in Shen Jiahe's head. Congratulations, player Shen Jiahe, for completing the task. You have found the warden's lover and delivered her to the warden. As the first player to clear the island dungeon, you are rewarded with a B-level defensive item, Turtle Shield. Congratulations, player Shen Jiahe, for completing the island dungeon in record time. You are rewarded with an enhanced defensive item, Diamond Turtle Shield. Seeing Shen Jiahe frozen in place, Lin Yuanzhou poked her cheek. What's wrong? Why are you spacing out? Shen Jiahe looked at him. I think I cleared the dungeon. It says I delivered the warden's lover. And I got 2 turtle shields. Your dungeon item names are kinda tacky. Hearing that, Lin Yuanzhou instantly puffed up with pride. He straightened his back. See? My lover is only you. Looks like that's true. So the third task was just for her to walk up to Lin Yuanzhou. She'd only been in this dungeon a few hours. And just like that, she cleared it. She hadn't even done much. Looking at the man acting cute in front of her, Shen Jiahe pressed her lips together and smiled. She walked to the bed and sat down. Since I've finished the task, she asked casually, Can I leave the dungeon now? Lin Yuanzhou sat down beside her. He shook his head. No idea. No one's ever cleared it this fast. There are usually 2 ways to clear a horror dungeon. 1, kill the dungeon boss. 2, survive until the time limit. Either way, everyone clears together. The boss only starts slaughtering players after the 3rd day, so the fastest anyone can leave is 3 days. It's only the first day now. I'm not sure. Shin Jae nodded. When her gaze swept over Lin Yuanzhou, it landed on the tentacles spreading from behind him, outside. He always looked completely normal. Now that he suddenly had tentacles, it was kind of fascinating. She reached out and unconsciously touched one. It felt cool to the touch, almost like a snake. When she touched it carefully, she could even feel tiny scales. At her touch, the scales bristled slightly. It felt a bit rough now. Looking at where it grew from, she followed the tentacle downward. Lin Wanzhou suddenly shot to his feet. His pale face flushed red. He even stammered, "Wife, we're still outside? We shouldn't rush." He studied her expression carefully, then quickly added, "If you really want to, I'll take a shower first." Shinjahi was speechless. This guy was clearly thinking of something not safe for kids. Seeing him about to run to the bathroom, she grabbed one of his tentacles. It swayed happily in her palm. "What?" Lin Yuanzhou turned around. After thinking for a moment, he asked, "Can't wait?" His face turned even redder. His fingers moved to his collar buttons. They twitched slightly. Blushing, he said, "Wife? I've missed you too. But we are outside." "Still, it's fine. I've been the boss for so long. Setting up a barrier isn't hard. No one outside will hear a thing." Shenjahi stood up and stopped him from unbuttoning any further. "That's not what I meant. I'm just curious. Where exactly do these tentacles grow from?" The excitement on Lin Wanzhou's face instantly dropped. He looked at her resentfully. "That's all you're curious about? Nothing else?" Shenjahi rolled her eyes. "I've seen every inch of you. What else would I be curious about?" As she spoke, she tugged his clothes down, revealing his toned abs. Now Lin Wanzhou actually felt shy. Like a bashful girl, he covered his chest with both hands, though he didn't stop her. She looked behind him. The tentacles grew from above his tailbone. The skin around it was covered with small black scales. "Can you retract them?" Lin Wanzhou obediently pulled them back in. His back instantly became smooth again. "That's amazing." Shenjahi grew interested. "Do it again." Lin Wanzhou sighed and extended them once more. As they were examining them, bang! The bedroom door flew open, instantly shattering the slightly intimate atmosphere. Feibai had changed into a black uniform. His long hair tied up high. He looked less feminine now. His voice cut off. He stared at the scene in shock. He even stammered, "You guys are moving way too fast. I was only gone a few minutes." Meeting Lin Yuanzhou's displeased gaze, Feibai took a small step back. Haha. Sorry to interrupt, it's nothing urgent. I can handle it myself." Lin Wanzhou calmly buttoned his shirt. "What happened?" Feibai's eyes darted around. Not daring to look directly at him, "Someone's heading this way? They have an S-level item. I'm afraid they're coming for you." Lin Yuanzhou let out a soft chuckle. His cold voice carried a hint of killing intent. "Are people really this arrogant and clueless these days?" Feibai explained. "These guys are no ordinary people. The leader's pretty sharp. They've already made it to your office. They'll probably head this way soon." Lin Wanzhou curled his lip. "Perfect. I'll take care of them all when they get here." He shot a glance at Feibai as he spoke. "They're just a bunch of lackeys." "Why are you so panicky?" Feibai looked at how confident Lin Yuanzhou was, and nodded toward Shen Jiahe. "I'm worried they'll come in and see the person next to you." He's not blind. He could tell the second he walked in. "That you care about this girl? You're always cold and serious in the dungeon, but you turn into a total suck-up around Shen Jiahe. It's too embarrassing to watch. I almost thought you'd been taken over by someone else." Lin Yuanzhou frowned and took a small step forward, blocking Shen Jiahe behind him. His tone suddenly turned icy. "They wouldn't dare touch you. But what about her?" Feibai pointed at Shen Jiahe. "She's a player, sneaking around with the dungeon boss. If anyone sees this, she's dead meat." Lin Wanzhou's face went blank. "I'll protect Jiahe?" Feibai's mouth twitched. "Let me tell you something. This isn't a fight you can just punch your way out of. You need to hide her." Lin Wanzhou refused to back down. "Jiahe is my woman. Why should I hide her?" Feibai was speechless. "Love brains are the worst. You're usually so smart. How'd you turn into a 10-year-old around a girl?" Shenjahi tugged Lin Yuanzhou's arm. "I think he's right." Lin Yuanzhou's expression softened and nodded in agreement. "Whatever my girl says goes." Feibai was annoyed. "You can't be this double standard." He was about to complain when his eyes met Lin Yuanzhou's. He swallowed his words right away. "Whatever, I can't beat you anyway. I'll go check it out first. If they really are coming for us, get ready." After warning him, Feibai quickly left. Meanwhile, Ding Dong had been waiting in the dorm lobby for 20 minutes. With still no sign of Shen Jiahe, he glanced toward the way she'd left, a cruel smile tugging at his lips. She seemed like a nice girl. Shame she won't live long. He hadn't been standing there long when a small team ran over. "Brother Ding," the leader called. "The entities have all gone after the players. It's safe here for now." Zhao Jingning glanced beside him. "Where's the girl you were with?" Ding Dong laughed, casually saying probably dead. Forget about her. He pointed to the area he'd just searched. Upstairs is the office area. She hasn't come back. She must have run into the boss. We'll stick to this area for now. Zhao Jingning checked his watch and nodded. Daybreak in 2 hours. In 2 hours, the entities will be back. They go dormant during the day, but they'll wake up if disturbed. We need to find clues fast. The group nodded and followed Ding Dong upstairs. Shen Jiahe looked at Lin Wenzhou sitting nearby and suggested, should I go out? Lin Wenzhou frowned, his face turning serious. No, it's too dangerous out there. What if you get hurt? Shen Jiahe looked up and stared seriously at him. I can't stay a fragile flower forever. Always hiding behind you. Lin Wenzhou fell silent. Shen Jiahe knew he was worried about her. She gently brushed his cheek. I'm strong. You know that. Lin Wenzhou lowered his eyes and pulled her into a hug, muttering, baby, why did you have to enter a horror dungeon? Shen Jiahe patted his head, softly saying, trust me. Tentacles unfurled behind Lin Wenzhou and wrapped her tightly in his arms. One hand pressed against the back of her head, and he kissed her. The kiss caught Shen Jiahe off guard, and she gasped softly. Lin Wenzhou knew her so well that she was soon left dizzy and breathless. After what felt like forever, Lin Wenzhou finally let her go. You're right. You need to be able to protect yourself, Lin Wenzhou said in a hoarse voice. Reluctantly, he let go of Shen Jiahe and dug into his pocket, pulling out a pile of items. Necklaces, gloves, rings, a dagger, pink handcuffs. Staring at the pile by the bed, Shen Jiahe fell quiet. What is all this? Lin Wenzhou stuffed them into her hands. I collected them from past dungeons. They might help you. Shen Jiahe picked up the pink item. The handcuffs clinked, loud and clear in the quiet room. She looked at Lin Wenzhou suspiciously. Your dungeon has kinky stuff like this? Lin Wenzhou blushed hard, snatched the cuffs and tossed them under the bed. I must have grabbed it too fast during a solo run. It doesn't matter. As she put the items on, system voices kept ringing in Shen Jiahe's head. Congratulations, player. You obtained 1 space ring. Congratulations, player. You obtained SS grade defense item, Heart of Protection. Congratulations, player. You obtained S grade attack item, Shadow Ice Blade. This feels just like being a pay-to-win player. No wonder. Fei Bai said someone brought S-grade items earlier. Lin Yuanzhou wasn't worried at all. He had way more. You gave all this to me. What about you? I'm the dungeon boss. I'm strong enough. Lin Yuanzhou hugged her again, his voice full of reluctance. Baby, the entities aren't scary. People are, in this dungeon, never trust anyone. Shen Jiahe nodded. She'd been on guard since entering, but Ding Dong still tricked her. If Lin Yuanzhou wasn't the boss, she'd be dead by now. Leaving Lin Yuanzhou's room, Shen Jiahe vanished down the hallway. Fei Bai popped out from some corner. Watching the direction she'd left, he raised an eyebrow. You're really okay with her going out alone? Lin Yuanzhou looked away, his voice much calmer. If she's in this dungeon, she has to be able to face it alone. I can't protect her forever. I have to let her grow strong fast. Yeah, right. You're freaking out on the inside. You even left your scent on her. Fei Bai complained. Lin Yuanzhou kicked him right out the door. I need to rest quietly. Don't come to me for anything. Fei Bai was annoyed. He wanted to say more. The door slammed shut. Meanwhile, after Shen Jiahe left Lin Yuanzhou's room, she walked down the corridor. But as soon as she turned the corner, she ran straight into 2 guards. The guards were shocked to see Shen Jiahe. They immediately pretended to be busy, flailing their hands and acting like they were working. One guard touched his hat. Where are my keys? I don't think I have them. Yeah, I don't have yours either. Probably dropped them during the kill. Let's go look for them. Right, let's go back. They didn't give Shen Jiahe a chance to react. Grabbed each other and scrambled away. Shen Jiahe looked disgusted. Such terrible acting. Right now, the 2 guards had run several kilometers away. Phew, that was close. Lucky we made up an excuse fast. Yeah, we ran just in time. She's got the warden's vibe all over her. It's so strong. Might as well stick a sign on her forehead, saying, this is my girl. Thank God, thank God. If we'd scared her, who knows what trouble we'd be in. One guard hugged himself fake scared and shuddered hard. Their boss has been on a warpath lately. If we messed with his girl, we'd be dead meat. Wait, since when does our boss have a girl? One guard scratched his head, confused. And she seems to be a player. The 2 guards looked at each other and finally came to a conclusion. Our boss is doing the whole tyrant boss forced love thing. Tell the others, stay away from that woman. Don't let her get hurt or we'll get blamed. As for the guard's weird behavior, Shen Jiahe thought whatever Lin Yuanzhou gave her was just too powerful and scared the ghosts off. Shen Jiahe walked upstairs along the corridor. When her face appeared on the live stream, the comments all gasped. Whoa, she's actually alive. She was gone for so long. I thought she was dead for sure. So she didn't go into the boss's room? Something's off. If it wasn't the boss's room, why was her stream black? Is she some hidden big shot? Hiding her identity in the instance. The comments started wondering about Shen Jiahei's identity. After leaving Lin Yuanzhou's room, Shen Jiahei wandered around the ghost dorm. When she reached the second floor, she heard something being rummaged through. Shen Jiahei pushed the door open. Everyone inside jumped. The second she opened the door, they got defensive. When they saw it was Shen Jiahei, their expressions got weird. Their eyes flicked toward Ding Dong. Ding Dong's serious face vanished, and quickly turned surprised. He stepped forward. "Sister, you're alive. I thought something happened to you." Disappointed? Shen Jiahei looked at Ding Dong calmly. Ding Dong smiled and put a hand to his chest. "I was so worried about you, sister." Shen Jiahei glanced at the busy people around. "What about them, then?" Ding Dong lied without blinking. "We just ran into each other. Just a coincidence?" Shen Jiahei smiled, sounding casual. "Is that right? I thought you tricked me into going over there, so you could meet up with your crew. How could I?" Ding Dong stepped forward, about to speak. When Shen Jiahei felt wind behind her, she instinctively dodged to the side. Crash! A chair smashed into the floor, making a loud noise. Shen Jiahei turned around and saw a tall, strong man behind her. When he missed with the chair, Zhao Jingning pulled out a knife. "We're all friends. No need for all this," Ding Dong said. Zhao Jingning immediately obeyed and put the knife away. Shen Jiahei looked at Ding Dong, pointed at Zhao Jingning and said, "He obeys you that well? Still just a coincidence?" Ding Dong wasn't embarrassed at all at being caught. His eyes curved slightly. "Sister, this is a horror instance. We pick teammates who can hold their own. A dead weight in the team just makes things hard. Congratulations, sister, officially one of us." Ding Dong held out a hand friendly. Shen Jiahei glanced at it, but didn't take it. Ding Dong wasn't awkward. "Going solo in an instant, sister. We'll wear you out eventually. Join us. Trustworthy teammates make it easier. You've been plotting against me, and now you want me to join? Aren't you ashamed?" Shen Jiahei said coldly. Ding Dong smiled. "Ashamed is better than dead. I won't team up with people who plot against me and want me dead." Shen Jiahei refused flat out. Ding Dong lowered his hand, his fake smile fading. "You really won't consider it, sister? This is your first instance. You don't know how things work. Join us, and I'll share all my clearing tips for free." Shen Jiahei rolled her eyes silently. If she wanted clearing tips, she'd just ask Lin Yuanzhou. Such a big speech. "You're quite the talker. You used to sell pyramid schemes, didn't you?" Shen Jiahei mocked. Zhao Timing walked up to Ding Dong. "Brother Ding, since she won't join, just kill her. Cut off the trouble. This woman's so ungrateful. Brother Ding even invited her himself. And she said no. I wish I'd gotten that lucky, to be invited by Brother Ding. Their team's famous for fast clears and low death rates. Fine, she chose death. If she won't join Brother Ding's team, she's probably gonna get killed. If she gets stronger, it'll be bad for Brother Ding and them." Thanks to Zhao Jingning's line, the atmosphere turned tense at once. Everyone stared at Shen Jiahei. Before they could move, footsteps suddenly came from behind, followed by voices. They must be in the upstairs office. Seize the fugitives. Kill them on the spot. Everyone realized right away. The guards were back. Zhao Jingning paled and looked at Ding Dong. Ding Dong made the call instantly. "Run! Get out of here!" With that, the group turned and fled in formation. The guards were fast too. They burst in right after shouting. The two sides ran straight into each other. Great, no way out now. Ding Dong's team worked perfectly together. Seeing they couldn't escape, they immediately got into attack stance. When the guards saw them, their eyes turned blood red. Their faces began to split open, and they bared their bloody fangs. Even though Lin Yuanzhou had talked her into watching tons of horror movies, seeing something like this in real life was still pretty shocking. Just kinda ugly, though. A big crowd had gathered around Ding Dong, and the guards were distracted by them. Shen Jiahei took the chance to sneak around and run out. Inside, everything immediately descended into chaos. Shen Jiahei had barely run 2 steps when the system voice in her head spoke up. "Player has triggered a hidden quest. Find out why you were sent to prison, and state your way of atonement. Reward, 1 random gift pack. Why I was sent to prison, and how to atone." Stuff like this is usually in the archives, right? But Shen Jiahei didn't have time to think. She was busy running for her life. Thanks to Ding Dong and the others distracting them, none of the ghosts came after Shen Jiahei. Shen Jiahei ran upstairs. The higher she went, the darker the stairs got. As she was feeling her way up, the lights around the stairs suddenly turned on. Warm yellow light. The dark, creepy atmosphere vanished right away. With the lights on, the stairs came into full view. Shen Jiahei glanced at the paintings on the wall. All of them were deeply unsettling. The one closest to her was a smiling little girl, except blood was pouring from her eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. Further down was a muscular man with a dog's head, its mouth open. showing fangs. Every painting gave off a weird, eerie vibe. Luckily, Shen Jiahe was used to this kind of stuff. She wasn't scared at all. She just felt more and more lost, and couldn't help muttering, Lin Yuanju, where's the office? After murmuring that, Shen Jiahe kept going up, but she'd only taken a few steps when she spotted a bright sign on the wall. A bright, obvious sign. It was glowing green, just like an emergency exit sign in a mall. Impossible to miss. Shen Jiahe was confused. This place was so old-fashioned, and there was a modern sign here? Does that make sense? Is this even logical? The sign read, Warden's Office, with an arrow next to it, telling her to keep going up. Shen Jiahe hesitated for a second, then followed the sign upstairs. As soon as she left, the paintings on the wall came to life and started chattering away. That's the boss's wife. She's actually pretty cute. Smelled her from miles away. I thought the boss was here. Scared me straight, I behaved myself. Didn't expect a woman instead. The fake little girl rubbed her stiff, smiling face. I even put on a big smile to greet her. Wonder if Sis saw it. Pfft, you guys are so clueless. I turned myself into the sign. Hey, you think the boss is serious? He actually got a human wife? She gonna become one of us later? Her scent's already strong enough. He's definitely serious. Who would have thought? The boss finally found someone. No wonder he's been splitting himself up lately. Want to get this done fast so he can date. Lights lined the whole corridor, with cute little guide signs on the walls. It made Shen Jiahe feel like she was window shopping. The endless corridor, after she climbed 2 floors, ended at a large gate. It was slightly ajar, opened with a light push. Modern decor inside. Every door had a plaque, with the office name and staff on it. Shen Jiahe walked inside, looking at the staff list on the wall, planning to find the archives by the door signs. The office area was deadly quiet, only the sound of her footsteps. The archives room was at the very end of the hall. A metal door. Shen Jiahe reached out and touched it. It was damp, like it had just been cleaned. Shen Jiahe rolled her eyes. Are ghosts really this neat freakish now? Chasing someone and still wiping the door? She turned the doorknob. It wouldn't open. Looks like she had to find the key. Watching this from the shadows, ghosts A, B, C, D immediately regretted it. We were too busy wiping up the blood. Forgot to unlock the door. Yeah, this is our hidden job. Normally we hide the key real good. She'd be looking for a day or two. Another ghost said. The ghosts exchanged looks, scratching their heads, trying to think of a plan. What do we do? If she really takes that long, won't we mess things up? Maybe the faster she finishes the quest, the better the reward. If the boss finds out, we slowed his wife down. He's gonna beat us up. You go get the key. We'll accidentally drop it right in front of her. As soon as he said that, all the ghosts nodded. So while Shen Jiahe was busy looking for the key, she stepped on something bumpy. She looked down. It was a key. Shen Jiahe was stunned. She bent down and picked it up, her mouth twitching helplessly. This is way too easy. A key I just stepped on? Couldn't possibly be the archives key, right? Shen Jiahe went back to the archives with the key, stuck it in. Click. It actually opened. Felt like cheating in a game. The archives room was pitch black inside. Just as Shen Jiahe was about to feel for the lights turned on by themselves. These lights are mind-controlled. They just turn on whenever. So consider it, the archives were full of metal shelves. Stacked tightly on every shelf were files wrapped in craft paper, sorted by the date they were imprisoned. Shen Jiahe walked over to the 2024 section and started flipping through them. After a few files, she found one with her name on it. She opened the file and started reading. It had all her details. She flipped down to find her reason for imprisonment. When she saw what it said, Shen Jiahe's eyes widened. She was half angry, half amused. Reason for imprisonment. Broke up with an innocent young man, causing him to fall into depression. This has got to be written by that bastard Lin Yuanju. Innocent young man, my ass. He's so shameless. And I have to say how to atone. Just say it out loud and the quest is done. Shen Jiahe was thinking. When words appeared on the paper, say your way of atonement out loud. Once approved, the reward will be given immediately. She knew that handwriting way too well. It was Lin Yuanju's. Shen Jiahe looked at what was written on the paper. She hesitated for a moment. Then she called out tentatively, So I'll get back together with Lin Yuanju. A line of words quickly appeared on the paper. Not firm enough. I'll get back together with Lin Yuanju right away. More words appeared on the paper. Not loud enough. Shen Jiahe raised her voice a little. I'll get back together with Lin Yuanju right now. More words appeared again. Not detailed enough. Be more sincere. Shen Jiahe gritted her teeth. That's enough. More words appeared on the paper. How dare you snap at me? Shen Jiahe was speechless. Even the paper has an attitude. Forget it. I'm not getting back together. I'm not doing this hidden quest. She casually moved to stuff the paper back. The paper immediately displayed, Congratulations, player. Hidden quest completed. As the words appeared on the page, A system notification rang in her mind. Congratulations to the first player to complete the hidden quest. Reward, S-rank attack item, laser greatsword. Shen Jiahe twitched. The name was as cheesy as ever. After finishing the quest, she left the archive room. She walked around the area. All the rooms here were empty, not a single person, but everything was fully furnished. Pretty much anything you'd expect. She found another office and sat down to rest for a bit. Fatigue hit her instantly. She patted her face and forced herself to stay alert. There wasn't much else to do, so she casually flipped through the office. She actually found a few books. The Domineering Ghost fell for me. 108 Ways to Win Over a Human. She runs, he chases. Catch her and it's game over. First 7 days, these titles are wild. Who knows how long she read? Suddenly, a commotion broke out outside. Shen Jiahe immediately went on guard and hid behind the desk. Someone's here. The noise drew closer. It sounded like two groups, arguing fiercely. Stop right there. Are you not going to explain what just happened? A rough male voice rang out. Then came a familiar voice. It was Ding Dong. Boss Yue, you should be thanking me. If it weren't for me, we'd all be dead back there. Ding Dong's voice carried a maturity beyond his age. Boss Yue looked at him with a dark expression. We could have come in safely. You pushed him out. Ding Dong chuckled softly, eyes narrowing slightly. Drop the act in front of me. You brought in a bunch of new members this time. Just to use them as cannon fodder, right? Give it a rest. As soon as he said that, Boss Yue fell silent. Ding Dong continued. Let's finish the hidden quest first. Maybe we'll get something good from the random rewards. As they spoke, they opened the office door. Shen Jiahe knew she couldn't hide anymore, and stood up. Neither of them expected someone to be inside. They were both startled. Boss Yue looked at Shen Jiahe warily, his hand already reaching into his pocket. Ding Dong raised a hand to stop him. She's my friend. Boss Yue glanced at Shen Jiahe and said nothing more. I'll head back first. After he left, Ding Dong looked at Shen Jiahe and greeted her with a smile. Didn't expect to run into you here, sis. Shen Jiahe looked at him. His white coat was covered in dust, with several tears in it, like it had been slashed by something sharp. He looked pretty disheveled. Not really, I'm here for the hidden quest. Ding Dong sized her up, seeing she wasn't injured at all. He asked curiously, Sissy, how did you get up here? I walked. Ding Dong looked doubtful. When we came up, the paintings in the hallway attacked us, and we ran into a ghost wall. We couldn't get out no matter what. 2 people died before we made it up. Why are you completely fine? Oh? So that hallway had tricks too. Shen Jiahe shrugged. Maybe I just got lucky. Ding Dong let out a soft laugh. I don't believe anyone's luck is that good. Shen Jiahe didn't care. Believe what you want. What, planning to kill me again? Ding Dong immediately switched to a smile. No, nothing like that. My guys were just being reckless before. You're so capable, sis. Why would I ever make you my enemy? Shen Jiahe didn't want to beat around the bush. People like him seemed easygoing, always leaving themselves an out, but were the hardest to deal with. Seeing her silent, Ding Dong asked again, sis. Did you finish the hidden quest? Shen Jiahe nodded, yeah. A flash of surprise crossed his eyes. How did you complete it? After asking, he seemed to realize it was intrusive, and added, with your help, we can clear this dungeon more smoothly. Shen Jiahe said casually, I completed it with my mouth. That left Ding Dong speechless. They had only talked for a bit. When a group of people arrived, some of them Shen Jiahe had seen before. Ding Dong's team, the others, were probably Boss Yue's group. Shen Jiahe glanced over, and suddenly spotted a familiar face in the crowd. Lin Yuanzhou, a big boss, actually disguising himself as a player. This time he looked much more normal, covered in dust and dirt. He really did look like a player. Done catching up? We need to finish the hidden quest first. Boss Yue said. Ding Dong returned to his team. Shen Jiahe originally planned to pretend she didn't know Lin Yuanzhou, but he ran out of the group and hugged her tightly, bursting into dramatic tears. Wow, honey! You're here too? I ran into so many monsters just now. It was terrifying. I was scared to death. With red-rimmed eyes, Lin Yuanzhou perfectly played the weak, pitiful man. Shen Jiahe's lips twitched. This guy could really act. Now everyone knew they were a couple. Sure enough, after his little performance, people around them were all staring. Lin Yuanzhou had thick skin. He didn't care at all, still clinging to her and sobbing. Shen Jiahe shoved him in disgust, but he wouldn't budge, like he was glued to her with super glue. All right, stop crying. She comforted him lightly, hinting that it was enough. But Lin Yuanzhou seemed to enjoy it, and continued whining. Honey, when we were coming up, those monsters looked horrible. Green faces, sharp fangs. They almost ate me. Feel my heart. It's still racing. As he spoke, Lin Yuanzhou took Shen Jiahe's hand and pressed it to his chest. Shen Jiahe didn't hold back and squeezed him a couple times. Feels nice. Lin Wanzhou looked up at Shen Jiahe pleadingly. Honey? She shot him a glare. Lin Wanzhou had to calm down. He was afraid he'd overdo it. This wasn't the time for being lovey-dovey. They were in a horror level. Seeing Lin Yuanzhou's act, Boss Yue frowned and scolded him impatiently. Lin Yuanzhou hid behind Shen Jiahe and complained to his wife with a wronged look. He's being mean to me. Boss Yue was speechless. Such a big, grown guy. And he's so girly. Boss Yue glanced at Shen Jiahe. This woman went upstairs all alone and came out completely unharmed. She must be really strong. Better be careful. Can't afford to offend her. Boss Yue turned to Shen Jiahe, his tone much gentler. Miss, I saved your husband from those creatures. Shen Jiahe stared at Lin Yuanzhou, speechless. This guy's such a drama queen? Did he put on some knight in shining armor act? Well, thanks a lot, Boss Yue. Shen Jiahe replied politely. Boss Yue waved a hand. Don't mention it. We're supposed to help each other out in horror levels. Interested in joining us? Better safe with company. He sounded polite. But from their earlier talk, Boss Yue was no good guy. Before Shen Jiahe could answer, Ding Dong stepped forward and stood in front of Shen Jiahe. Boss Yue, I tried to recruit Sister Shen first. You can't just poach her like that. Boss Yue raised an eyebrow. Miss Shen hasn't agreed. To join you yet? Don't get ahead of yourself. Comment? Holy crap, 2 gangs fighting over her right in front of us. This woman's a total winner. She's definitely capable. Got through the hidden quest without a scratch. Boss Yue and Brother Ding came up together and got messed up bad by the creatures. Anyone see how she got up here? Right after she left the hallway, the cameras lost her. They both looked at Shen Jiahe, waiting for her answer. Shen Jiahe took Lin Wenzhou's hand and asked, who do you want to go with? Lin Wenzhou glanced at Boss Yue. He whispered, then, Boss Yue? He's been looking out for me this whole time. Shen Jiahe nodded. Then I'll leave it to you, Boss Yue. Boss Yue shot a provoking glance at Ding Dong. Then he welcomed her. Welcome to the team, Miss Shen. His tone shifted at once. Miss Shen, you got up here first. Found anything about the hidden quest? Shen Jiahe pointed in a direction. I checked around when I came up. There's an archives room in the far corner, but the door's locked. I think the hidden quest is in there. Boss Yue nodded. All right. Let's split into 2 teams to find the key. Ding Dong glanced at Boss Yue, said nothing, and led his own men toward the archives room. Boss Yue followed. Shen Jiahe and Lin Yuanzhou stayed at the back. Once the group was far away, she lowered her voice and asked, what are you doing here? I missed my wife. Lin Yuanzhou looked at her pleadingly. Shen Jiahe pinched the soft flesh on his waist. Lin Yuanzhou hissed in pain. I'm being serious. Cut the mushy stuff. Lin Yuanzhou rubbed his waist and mumbled quietly. This is serious. Seeing Shen Jiahe about to pinch him again, Lin Yuanzhou quickly straightened up. Neither of these groups is good. I was worried you'd let your guard down on your first run. Do I look that stupid to you? Shen Jiahe rolled her eyes at him. Lin Yuanzhou smiled and leaned in. Of course not. I just worry too much. How do you know they're bad news? Lin Yuanzhou explained, I had people look into them. Ding Dong uses his young look to trick new players and get them killed. And Boss Yue? He acts nice, taking in newbies and leading them through levels. But he really just uses them as guinea pigs. Anyone with him ends up dead or hurt. And he still pretends to be some savior. Then why did you pick him? At that, Lin Wenzhou's face darkened, like he'd eaten something disgusting. Is it that embarrassing to say? Shen Jiahe asked, amused. Lin Wenzhou took a deep breath and gritted his teeth. He likes men. Shen Jiahe's eyes widened. Clearly here for the tea. She looked him up and down. Curious, what did he do to you? After all, a big reason she took him in back then was 'cause he's good looking. Lin Wenzhou frowned. Shouldn't you be worried about me? Sounds like you're hoping something happened. Shen Jiahe covered her mouth and coughed. Was I that obvious? I just trust you, that's all. I know you wouldn't let him take advantage. Shen Jiahe quickly explained. Lin Wenzhou huffed. If he dared lay a hand on me, he'd be a corpse by now. How'd you find out he likes men? He hinted that if I stuck with him, I'd get out safely. Shen Jiahe pressed her lips together, barely holding back a laugh. No wonder Lin Yuanzhou was being so lovey-dovey earlier. He was scared Boss Yue would hit on him. Meanwhile, the creatures hiding in the dark watched their boss acting so pathetic. All went silent. This is so embarrassing. Can I just disown him as my boss? No, you can't beat me. I thought our boss was supposed to be cold, unsmiling, and ruthless. Love really makes you dumb, just like our boss. Ah, gross! Never thought I'd live to see our boss being this embarrassing. The group reached the archives door. Several took turns trying to open it. Some picked the lock, others banged on it. One even pulled out a weapon to blow it up. But the door stayed perfectly intact. Boss Yue analyzed. Looks like we have to find the key to get in. Dido mocked. Anyone not an idiot could figure that out? Boss Yue was about to snap. but someone held him back. Now's not the time to fight among ourselves. We need to find the key. Random rewards like this are the best surprises. Get lucky and you might even get an S-rank item. Better than clearing the level itself. Neither side backed down. They just split up and searched separately. Shenjahi found the key so fast, she didn't even know there were upper floors. Boss Yue led his group upstairs. Just as they stepped onto the stairs, a cold, creepy wind blew over them. At the 4th floor landing, a wooden door blocked their way. The door was broken and covered in layers of cobwebs. Peeking through the holes, they saw sticky bloodstains all over the dark hallway. Boss Yue stared at the scene and clearly hesitated. He glanced back, then pointed at someone. "Open the door," he ordered. The man paled, his body trembling violently. "Boss, I'm scared." He was clearly a new player, not used to this kind of scene. Boss Yue patted his shoulder. "All newbies go through this. It's the only way to grow fast. I'm doing this for your own good." Wow, what a load of empty promises. A few words, and the scared guy found courage. He stepped to the front, shakily reached out and pushed the door open. The second he stepped inside, a black shadow darted out. The man screamed in terror. Boss Yue reacted fast. A kitchen knife appeared in his hand out of nowhere, and he slashed at the shadow. The shadow moved quickly, retreating at once. The man collapsed to the ground, his legs shaking nonstop. Boss Yue hauled him up. "Get off the floor. Be a man and stand up." Scared as he was, the man wanted to live. He forced himself up beside Boss Yue, voice tearful. "Boss Yue, what was that thing just now?" "Just some low-level ghost. You'll run into plenty of these later. You'd better get used to it fast." The man nodded shakily. Boss Yue took a flashlight out of his pocket. He turned it on and shone it inside. What he saw was nothing but blood. Blood was stuck all over the walls and the floor. It was everywhere. The blood was still pretty fresh. It glinted slightly under the light. After they came in through the broken wooden door, there were 2 paths, left and right. Boss Yue glanced back. "To save time," he said, "let's split up." As soon as he spoke, the new members instinctively moved closer to Boss Yue. Shenjahi felt totally at ease right now. After all, their boss was standing right next to her. There was no way they'd be in danger. So she offered, "I'll go with you, Yuanzhou. We'll take this way. You guys do whatever." With that, she firmly pulled Lin Yuanzhou into the dark. Watching Shenjahi's decisive steps, Boss Yue was a little surprised. A subordinate nearby whispered, "Boss, this woman doesn't look simple. She dared to go in alone with a useless guy. She might have some kind of status." Boss Yue nodded. "Let's just keep an eye on her for now. First, find the key." With that, he turned around and led his group the other way. Lin Yuanzhou let Shenjahi hold his hand, his face shy. "Babe, I can't believe you chose me first. I'm so touched." Sniffles. Shenjahi clenched her fist. "Cut the act or I won't go easy on you." Lin Yuanzhou coughed lightly. He finally acted normal. As the two walked, the lights along the path turned on one by one, so obedient. They reached the door of a room. Lin Yuanzhou opened the door and went in. It was a medical room. It was spotlessly clean inside. The smell of blood outside vanished the second they stepped in. Warm yellow lights were on inside. Quilts were neatly arranged on the beds. Lin Yuanzhou pulled Shenjahi down onto the bed. The second her bottom touched the mattress, Lin Yuanzhou pulled out a stack of papers out of nowhere. He held them in front of Shenjahi. Shenjahi stared at them, confused. "What are these? What's this?" "Info I had my people dig up. Take a good look. Don't fall for their lies later." Shenjahi flipped through them. They turned out to be detailed character profiles. Most of the people she didn't know. She only found Ding Dong's info when she flipped further. Ding Dong male, 32 years old. He looks so young, but he's actually that old. He'd been taking advantage of her by calling her sister. In real life, he was a fraud. He pretended to be poor and weak with his young looks, tricking soft-hearted girls into feeling sorry for him, then kidnapping and trafficking them. That's why Ding Dong, an evil criminal, ended up in this horror instance. Shenjahi asked. Lin Yuanzhou nodded. Yep, Lin Yue, female, 10-year-old serial killer. That's Boss Yue. None of them have simple backgrounds. Human trafficking, murder, all kinds of crimes. The two were peaceful and relaxed in the medical room, while the others outside were being hunted by a ghost. After finishing the papers, Shenjahi suddenly remembered something. She turned to Lin Yuanzhou. Did you write those words in the hidden quest? Lin Yuanzhou felt guilty about being caught. He blinked and coughed lightly. No way. Just similar handwriting? Shenjahi raised an eyebrow. She replied casually, I see. If you didn't write it, then about us getting back together. Before Shenjahi could finish, Lin Yuanzhou cut her off at once. Okay, I wrote it. Babe, you said you'd take me back. No takebacks. It's quiet in here. Perfect time to settle old scores. I sent you so many messages before, and you didn't reply to a single one, Shenjahi said. Speaking of that, Lin Yuanzhou got really annoyed. He pulled his phone out of his pocket. and held it up to Shen Jiahe. Blame the bad signal in this instance. My messages never send properly. Shen Jiahe looked at his phone. The screen was full of red failed send marks. No wonder in the real world. After Lin Wanzhou disappeared, his messages came and went. It was just the bad signal in the horror instance. Lin Wanzhou looked at her, wronged. After you called and broke up with me, none of my messages would send. I thought you blocked me. Shen Jiahe froze awkwardly. She had definitely blocked him. Back then, his excuse, that he was busy being a boss in an instance, was just too ridiculous. Shen Jiahe thought he was cheating on her, so she deleted and blocked him right away. She looked back at the screen. It was full of Lin Yuanzhou's apologies. Babe, I'm sorry. Don't break up with me, okay? Subs, babe. I really am the boss of a horror instance. I'll fix this and come back soon. I'm not lying to you. I really am the ghost boss. If you don't believe me, I'll stab myself. He even sent videos. Shen Jiahe tapped one. In it, Lin Wanzhou faced the camera and slowly took off his shirt, showing off his obvious six-pack. He even picked a spot with perfect lighting to show off his whole body. Shen Jiahe was speechless. Is this stabbing yourself or hitting on me? She checked the progress bar below the video. It wasn't even halfway, taking this long just to stab himself. Sure enough, after taking off his top, Lin Wanzhou started taking off his pants. Shen Jiahe's face went dark. She was half annoyed, half amused. You're supposed to be stabbing yourself. Why are you taking off your pants? She held up the phone and looked at him. Lin Wanzhou explained seriously. Stabbing myself gets blood everywhere. Can't get my pants dirty? As they talked, Lin Yuanzhou in the video had already taken off his pants. His hand hovered over the waistband of his boxers. He seemed to be debating whether to take those off too. In the end, he must have kept some dignity and he didn't. What came next was pretty gory. Lin Wanzhou picked up a knife and stabbed himself right in the stomach. When he pulled the knife out, the wound on his body visibly started healing right before their eyes. Babe, see, my wound healed. I really wasn't lying. About an hour after that message, probably not getting a reply from Shen Jiahe, Lin Wanzhou sent another video. In it, Lin Wanzhou was completely naked from the waist down. Under dim yellow light, he showed off his broad shoulders, narrow waist, perky butt, and long legs. Everything. It was kind of embarrassing to watch. It's not like she hadn't seen everything there was to see of Lin Yuanzhou. But the guy in the video was still a little different from real life. Suddenly, black marks appeared on his back. Then countless tentacles grew out of it. It was like watching a sci-fi movie. Kinda hot. Lin Yuanzhou was clearly really proud of the video he'd filmed. He looked at Shen Jiahe and asked, Babe, am I hot? Shen Jiahe stared at him, at a loss for words. How many takes did you do? Lin Yuanzhou's smile froze. He stammered. Not many. Under Shen Jiahe's calm, questioning gaze, Lin Wanzhou could only hold up 2 fingers. Shen Jiahe raised an eyebrow 2 times. Lin Yuanzhou mumbled, 20. Shen Jiahe was dumbfounded. This guy had way too much patience. 20 takes? Shen Jiahe couldn't help but picture it in her head. Lin Yuanzhou running back and forth naked, checking how he looked on camera, picking the coolest, most show-offy clip to send her. It was hard not to laugh. You sent this an hour later. You weren't just filming this the whole time, were you? Shen Jiahe asked suspiciously. Lin Yuanzhou went silent. Yep, he really had nothing better to do. Babe, did you get any of these messages? Lin Yuanzhou asked. I blocked you. I never got them. Lin Yuanzhou was so anxious that his tentacles behind him popped out. He grabbed Shen Jiahe. What, you blocked me? Babe, let me explain. I had it all planned out. On your birthday, I was supposed to get out of the dungeon, but suddenly tons more people started clearing dungeons. I got stuck there against my will. I didn't mean to miss your birthday. Once this dungeon's over, I'll be able to leave. Babe, give me another chance. I can't lose you. I didn't tell you the truth before, 'cause I was scared you wouldn't accept me. Besides, if I told you I'm a creepy boss monster, you'd definitely think I was lying. Bullshit. You're a total atheist. I didn't want you to see the dark side of those scary dungeons either. Before, the number of dungeons was steady. I could just send a clone to handle it. I only had to work overtime once in a while. I'd just let you know, that's all. This time I disappeared for no reason for so long, 'cause the dungeons started acting up out of nowhere. Plus the signal kept cutting in and out. That's why I couldn't explain properly. Lin Yuanzhou was talking a mile a minute. He rambled like a lit firecracker. Words just pouring out nonstop. If she'd zoned out even for a second, she wouldn't have caught a word he said. He talked way too fast. To even give her a chance to misunderstand, Shen Jiahe nodded in response, letting him know she got it. Lin Wanzhou was shocked by how calm she was. He started panicking first. Babe, you don't believe me, do you? If you have any doubts, you can tell me. I'll explain everything right now. Lin Yuanzhou was so anxious he jumped off the bed. He stood in front of Shen Jiahe, gesturing wildly. How about I put on a little show for you right now? Lin Wanzhou was a man of action. He started taking off his clothes as soon as he finished talking. Before Shen Jiahe could stop him, his tentacles behind him got to work too. His hands were busy taking off his shirt, and his tentacles pulled down his pants. He looked absolutely desperate. Anyone who didn't know better would have thought they were about to hook up right here. Shen Jiahe stopped him, dumbfounded. You just grew tentacles right in front of me. How could I not believe you? Lin Wenzhou froze. Oh, right. Then he looked at Shen Jiahe pleadingly. Babe, so you forgive me? Are we still good? Looking at Lin Yuanzhou like this, Shen Jiahe slowly nodded. Lin Yuanzhou lit up and leaned in close. He put his arms around Shen Jiahe. Babe, I missed you so much. But I got trapped in that dungeon. As he spoke, he nuzzled his face against her shoulder. It made Shen Jiahe's heart flutter. A guy who's this clingy and cute, super good looking, great body, amazing cook, and so caring, how could anyone not love him? But just then, a bloody hand suddenly reached out from under the bed.